Are Arsenal and Manchester City to go toe-to-toe at Wembley. A first piece of silverware, which many people have been saying in the lead up to this one, could spill over, could have big implications on that title race between the two. How do you see this first matchup between them going?
I said probably 6 weeks or so ago now that if they get to this stage and Arsenal are still top of the league, I think this cup final will be vital. If they win it, I could see them winning near enough everything. I really can. Glad I'll raise his eyebrows to that one, I'm sure. But I think they've shown enough desire and quality to get into this situation, to give themselves a chance. At this time, games will start coming thick and fast, but give themselves a great opportunity. And I do think they'll win the cup final, I do.
They haven't won a cup final. They haven't won a trophy since 2020. And so Manchester City, on the other hand, have the experience. What is that, 4 League Cup finals in the last, 4 League Cups in the last 6 years or something like that? In terms of experience at this stage, it's very different.
Yeah, it is. City are the ones that are going to go there, and they're going to be the ones that are going to say, well, we've done this before. We can normalise the game. Whereas I think Arsenal and their set of fans are going there, and the expectations and the pressure are a little bit more on Arsenal. I do think psychologically, if whoever wins this, I think if City win it, I think it will have a little bit of an impact on the game they've got to play against each other in the Premier League. City are a team that can turn it on. And this is going to be a really tough call. It's a tough one to really say who's going to win this game. But if City really go there and perform as good as they can beat Arsenal. They're a better footballing team than Arsenal. Arsenal have been more consistent at the moment, and the balance between how they defend and how they can create, they've got it absolutely spot on. But this City side, if you watch them at times, they can actually... And it's sort of Wembley, it's a cup final. The bigger the occasion, the bigger the player arrives. You know, Haaland gone through a slight little bit of a bad run at the moment, but he'll look at Wembley and go, bang, this is the arena that I want to perform in. And that's what City have got. So it's a difficult one to call, it really is.
OK, well, there is not long to wait before that cup final between the top two in the Premier League for the first trophy of the season. That's at Wembley. Plenty more Premier League action to come before then. But from us, from Leon, from Glenn and myself, Julia, that's all we have for you tonight. Arsenal versus Manchester City. The students against the teacher, Guardiola and Arteta doing battle. They're two sides doing battle in the title race, now doing battle for silverware. This is a huge one.
It is.
Every time you play against City, it's unique for you because you've been there and seen how Pep operates, which obviously you won't have with any other manager. How much of an advantage is that for you before a game like this, that you know how he thinks, how he operates, what he might potentially do?
Yeah, but I mean, what he was done 6 years ago to now, I think he's changed a lot. And the way I used to prepare games, or to prepare the team 6 years ago to now, is completely different. The plays are different. Some of them, yeah, I coached them, and I was part of that. But that's it. And at the end, you can have the idea of what's going to happen, but at the end, you have to do it on the pitch, on that awesome team.
You used the phrase "attack the trophy" earlier. I think the fans would like hearing that front foot, aggressive. Is that the message to the players? To go and win it, don't be too cautious.
We always play like this, and we want to be dominant, and we want to take the game to the areas that are convenient for us to maximize our potential. And we're going to play the final in the same way.
Son?
Mikel, could I just ask you, obviously, for that final 6 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to have your family there, your wife or your kids. What would the emotion be for you on Sunday to have them there and sharing a moment like that 6 years ago you couldn't be?
Well, I was to that because I had them when we won it as a player and when I was at City as well. So yeah, that's what we won. They were there when we won the Community Shield a few times. So yeah, that's a special. No, I cannot speak louder.
Two arguably the best teams, certainly in England this year. Arsenal have got themselves into a great position in the league, but I do think this game is significant in terms of if Manchester City were to win this, I do think it gives them a psychological edge. I think it gives them an opportunity. I said many weeks ago that Arsenal will have to get over that psychological edge by beating them in a big game, in a big moment. And I think if Arsenal win then, I think it sets them up to finish the league very successfully.
Yeah, before we go very quickly, Glenn, it's a battle of two sides that have very different experience at this level.
Yeah, I mean, they've been there and done it, haven't they? City, they know the management team, the players have been there. They've had a fantastic record in the League Cup. It's a really tough one to call. It really is. Arsenal probably the most consistent team at the moment in the league, but Man City have got that X factor about them as well. They can raise their game at Wembley.
We got to go, guys. Thank you so much. We will see you next time. Bye-bye. Only two of them given. The question is, why was the other one not? We'll be debating that probably for a long time. Let's look at the Premier League. Newcastle and Sunderland separated by only 2 points. Bournemouth are level on points with Newcastle. After that, a draw against Manchester United. Then Leeds getting a point. That means they are 3 clear of Spurs and 4 clear of the relegation zone. Spurs and Nottingham Forest going head-to-head as well. And just 1 point between them, and Forest just outside of the relegation zone on goal difference. Burnley and Wolves still in the bottom 2 of the table. Let's put that into perspective for you. I've been talking about the games that are coming up on Sunday, so let's look at them, because there are high stakes ones coming up, especially at the bottom of the table. So plenty of goals on Saturday, except for that final game, and it was 3 home wins for the first 3 teams on Saturday: Brighton, Fulham and Everton as well. Leeds not managing to get all 3 points. Manchester United and Bournemouth in a 4-goal thriller, and then all those games to come on Sunday, as I mentioned already, including a big one for Spurs and Nottingham Forest. A cup final of sorts before the actual cup.
Yeah, it was nice. It was the first moment we were together when we arrived and win the first titles, and it was really, really cool.
That 2018 one was against Arsenal, of course, Jov. Was that sort of the most special in some ways, that your first one?
Yeah, it was. Maybe for Mikel not, because it was Arsenal, but for me definitely it was. Yeah. For him as well. So we worked hard to understand the Premier League, new players and many things. We spend is our job, a lot of time and energy, to read in good moments, bad moments, and of course, to start to break that routine and start win the first title in the just short time. The second season was really good, and after came the very many good things.
Pep, you've built several teams during the last 10 years here. With this current squad, how much time do you think you need for it to be peak, to be at its?
I had a feeling in many things we are just underneath, it will flourish. I had the feeling that it's close. In the other things, we need a little bit more time to the people realize, or the players realize what we need to be. Strong teams in many departments, but in most of the things, they are close.
So not far, not it wouldn't take a lot.
No, in many things we are close.
And just what your mood has been like in the last few days in the aftermath of losing, getting knocked out of the Champions League. Your kind of feelings towards the squad.
No, I had the same feeling. So it's difficult, 75 minutes or 75 minutes, 10 against 11 with 4-0 down. It could be worse. So the people behave unbelievable. So because they had chances normally, but we had a lot too. 10 against 11 against Madrid, so we were there. There was always stuff there. But in both games, we were able to do in 10 games, 10 minutes, 11 minutes here. In Bernabeu, 90 minutes, we have 2 or 3, but here, in 10, 11 minutes, we have 4 chances, one against Courtois making incredible 4 saves, or to stop from the central defender. So we are able to do that. I never had doubt about that. So in important games in Etihad Stadium, we are able in a blitz. So in a moment, we are able to create that. That is where I had the feeling that many things we are close to be, and the other things to be aware to. Maybe you have for the type of players that we have to really what we need to be consistent during 11 months in important games. It's much for the quality of the players that we have. We still a little bit, the gap is a little bit not close, but in many aspects we are an extraordinary team. Otherwise we will not be top 8 in the Champions League, we will not be second in the Premier League, final Carabao Cup and quarterfinals EFL Cup. So we are not that. After 9 months we will not be here. Next season I knew it, but in the past when we won a lot of times, always I know what we need exactly to do it. And for many things, we need a little bit more time.
The stage is set for a blockbuster EFL Cup final as Arsenal FC take on Manchester City in a clash that could define their season. With silverware on the line and pride at stake, this showdown promises intensity, drama, and high-quality football from two of the best teams in England. Soccer ball fire. All eyes will be on the tactical battle between Mikel Arteta and Pep Guardiola. Arteta, once Guardiola's assistant, now faces his mentor in a high-stakes final. Pundits are already debating whether this is the moment Arteta finally gets the better of Pep on the big stage, making the storyline even more compelling. Arsenal come into the game with confidence, playing some of their best football in recent years. With a squad full of energy, creativity, and belief, they have shown they can compete with the very best. Their ability to press high and attack quickly could be key to breaking down City's usually solid defensive structure. Manchester City, however, remain the benchmark. Their experience in finals, combined with their tactical discipline and squad depth, makes them incredibly difficult to beat. Guardiola's side knows how to control games, dominate possession, and punish even the smallest mistakes, qualities that could prove decisive in such a tight contest. Ultimately, this final is about more than just lifting the trophy, it's about momentum, legacy, and making a statement. If Arsenal can pull off the win, it could signal a shift in power, while a City victory would reinforce their dominance. Either way, fans are in for an unforgettable night of football.